See, good morning all. I think results came. So HODs are just posted the results of your 3-1 semester in the group. So you can check your results later. Ganesh, so Ganesh. Okay, so good morning all. Anyway, we are going to start our actual session. And yesterday we have discussed about the relation between symmetrical components, the power of a three-phase system in terms of symmetrical components. Already we have seen that, and after that we have seen the positive sequence networks, negative sequence network, and zero sequence network, as well as the impedances of all these. Okay, so now we shall continue. Now we have already completed all these parts. We have discussed about the positive sequence networks, sequence networks and sequence impedances for alternator, transformer, and transmission line. Yesterday we have started a problems based on zero sequence networks, right? Okay, now you see, please see here. All of you, please see here. So this is also very important problem. Please note down this. You are asked to draw zero sequence network for the system shown. Now you please see here. This is a very important problem. This is a very important problem. Please note down this. Please note down this. Okay, so consider the following system, which is whose single line diagram is as shown in the figure, and draw the zero sequence network. See, you are directly asked to draw the zero sequence network. Please do remember that while drawing the zero sequence networks, you will have only the impedances. You do not have the voltage sources or anything, etc. Anything other than this impedance, right? So here the generator is connected to the transformer, and transformer connection is already given. So primary winding of the first transformer is delta, and secondary winding of the first transformer is star connected with neutral grounded. Similarly, that is connected in series with the via the transmission line in series with the transformer 2, and the primary winding of the transformer 2 is star connected with neutral grounded. The secondary of the transformer 2 is nothing but delta connection. So now the secondary winding side of the secondary transformer, you will have the load section. So motor 1 and motor 2. Now the ratings of the different equipments are different elements that are already mentioned in the problem itself. Okay. Now you see here. So first please, I will give you 2 to 3 minutes time for drawing the zero sequence network. Later I will explain how to draw the zero sequence network, and you can be able to identify whether your answer is correct or not. Please try to solve the problem. Okay, you won't get the idea, or you won't get the knowledge if you just seeing and if you are listening the class. This is a problematic subject, so this is we are giving utmost importance to the problems also. So along with the theory, you are requested to see the problems also. Okay, sometimes if I am saying that definitely you will get the theory questions, means obviously in that particular case you will get you may get the problematic part. Okay, so no one knows which part has been given the utmost importance while setting the paper. So that's why you please focus mostly on the equal priority to the theory part as well as problematic part. Okay. So how do you draw the zero sequence networks? So whether it may be a positive sequence network or whether it may be a negative sequence network or whether it may be a zero sequence network. First of all, you have to check whether the single line diagram is available or not. If the single line diagram of the system is available, then you can replace the generator with its equivalent circuit, transformer with its equivalent circuit, and motors with its equivalent circuit. Already we have seen all these concepts in the chapter number 1, per unit representations and its topology. Okay, now let us verify the answer. Now you see here, draw the positive. Problem has not been completed yet. Draw the positive, negative sequence networks and assume the negative sequence impedances are equal to subtransient reactances. Take the generator as a base voltage. Okay, so please, this is a very important problem. Definitely you may expect this problem in your examinations. Everything has been given. Everything has been given. So first of all, you are asked to draw positive sequence, negative sequence, and zero sequence networks. I assume that negative sequence impedances are equal to subtransient reactances and take the generator as base voltage. So this is a very important, very easy also. Positive sequence network or positive sequence network means it is exactly similar to that of the problems what we have solved in the chapter number 1. Chapter number 1. Suppose I will explain. I will explain here. Just just wait a moment. Suppose if this is the question, I will give you the hint. This is the question. If we are asked to draw the equivalent circuit for this whole positive sequence, see, first let us verify how the positive sequence will be. See, just I am giving you hint. I am not going to solve this problem. You please solve this problem at your homes. Okay, you may expect this the same problem from this chapter. So the first thing is a positive sequence. Positive sequence, right? Now you see here, first of all, we are going to replace I'm going to draw the positive sequence network. Positive sequence network. Now you see here, just simply, this is the generator section, positive sequence. So in the positive sequence network, it definitely you must have the voltage source. So this is the generator section, which is connected in series with the transformer section, and which is now connected to the transmission line section. Similarly, transformer 2. And just wait a minute. So this is the positive sequence network. So if you clearly see this, already we have solved so many problems based on this particular concept. So what the exactly original system positive sequence is nothing but the balanced system. Okay, so the problems that's what we have already seen so far are completely the positive sequence. I mean exactly the symmetrical or balanced systems, right? Now this is positive sequence. Positive sequence. This is the positive sequence. So you can determine all the ratings of the impedances and the voltage sources in terms of per units. This is already we know. Okay, so this is the positive sequence network you are asked to draw. First of all, this is a positive sequence network, right? Now let us verify what is the basic difference between positive sequence and negative sequence. So in the case of negative sequence, you don't have the voltage sources. That means you are going to short these voltage sources. Short. Okay, so you don't have voltage source here. Now again, exactly the same. We are eliminating the voltage sources. That means we are making that voltage source is equal to 0. Obviously, voltage source equal to 0 means you do not have voltage source A. So obviously, this is a negative sequence. The basic difference between positive sequence and negative sequence is, in the case of positive sequence, you will have voltage sources, but in the impedances are same. there is no difference between the positive sequence, I mean positive sequence network impedances. That means the generator reactance and the transformer reactance, transmission line reactances, all the values are same. Okay, but finally the negative sequence impedance is different. That is another case. But here you are basically asked to draw just network, and you are not asked to determine the positive sequence impedances. Okay, so next thing is zero sequence. So how can we obtain the zero sequence network? So this is also very easy. Now positive sequence is obtained like this, so negative sequence is next like this. Now you see here, so this is the generator reactance that you have to connect here. Okay, next you need to place a switch here. Once again I am going to draw the same. For the same system, I'm going to draw the zero sequence networks. So in the case of zero sequence networks also, you don't have the voltage sources, right? So first of all, we need to keep a series switch for the transformer 1 and a shunt switch for primary winding of the transformer 1, right? Now we are also keeping one more series switch and one more shunt switch for transformer 1 section. Similarly, you can connect a transmission line reactance. Later, you can also connect one more series switch and one more shunt switch for the primary winding of the second transformer, and for the similarly the secondary winding of the second transformer, you have to connect a switch. So later, for this particular section, now we are keeping the motor reactances. So already we know how to or when to connect the series switch on and when to connect the shunt switch on. Suppose if the delta winding, I mean a primary winding of the transformer 1 is delta connected, means you can connect the shunt switch of either side of the transformer. And if the series switch, when you are going to close the series switch, obviously star connection with the neutral grounded, then only you can connect the series switch. Okay, so based on that particularly those concepts, you are going to draw the positive sequence network and negative sequence network and zero sequence network. Okay, so this is very important. You can solve this problem at your homes, right? Now we are going to discuss the, this is a very important, now we are going to entering into the very important concept of determining the fault currents for line to ground fault, line to line fault, and line to ground fault. First, please all of you draw this figure. Draw this figure. This is a very important. Please do the analysis along with me. Okay. See, why I'm giving you this time is this is a very important. This is the mainly thing we are going to cover in this particular chapter. This is unsymmetrical fault analysis means when line to ground fault occurs in your system, what is the amount of fault current that is trying to flow, and when line to ground fault is existing, then what is the amount of that is what is the expression for the fault current, etc. So as we have already discussed that, again we are going to consider unloaded synchronous machine. So if a line to ground fault occurs in your unloaded synchronous machine, so this particular system already we have seen in the earlier case. Okay, so A, phase B, phase C, where IA, IB, IC are the currents that are trying to flow, and this is a neutral current that will be equal to IA plus IB plus IC, and where the phase A is completely replaced with its equivalent circuit. Similarly in phase B, that is replaced with its equivalent circuit. Similarly phase C also. Okay. Now consider, see, this is our assumption. Sir, why you have taken only phase A? Why not phase B? Why not phase C? That is up to you. But the analysis has not been restricted. You can take your own analysis. You can do it also. Okay. But most of the times we are considering phase A, and we are going to have the line to ground fault in that phase. So in this particular case also, I have taken phase A, where the line to ground fault occurs. So that's why I have noted down as fault. Okay. Now, so so whenever we have chosen that phase, first of all, we have to write down some fault conditions. So what are the conditions, fault conditions that are existing? So whenever fault is existing, line to ground fault is in phase A, obviously the voltage in that phase A is equal to 0. Why? Because most of the current is trying to flow in that path, means obviously there is a current, short circuited current is trying to flow in that particular path, and obviously the voltage across the line to ground is equal to 0. So VA is equal to 0. Now what about IB and IC? So if IA is the fault current, means IB IC is already equal to 0. Why? Because the IB and IC in those two phases, no current is trying to flow. IB is equal to IC is equal to 0. So these two are the fault conditions. So first of all, for any type of fault, suppose if you want to do the analysis for a single phase unloaded synchronous, unloaded synchronous machine, analysis for unloaded synchronous, when a line to ground fault occurs, or line to ground fault occurs, or line to line fault occurs, first of all, it is very important to write down these fault conditions. Why? Because already we have seen so many expressions that are related to the unsymmetrical phasors as well as the symmetrical components. But in this particular case, symmetrical, whenever we are talking about the symmetrical components, means we need to remember the expressions what we have derived in the last class, right? Now see here. So already we have seen the fault conditions. So VA is equal to 0, and IB IC is already equal to 0. So we know that the symmetrical components of currents are given by, okay. So IA here, IA, IB, IC are unsymmetrical phasors. Please do remember that. See, already symmetrical fault analysis has been completed in the chapter number 4. Now we are making, or we are doing the unsymmetrical fault analysis with the use of symmetrical components. Okay. So IA, IB, IC are unsymmetrical phasors. IA0, IA1, IA2 are the symmetrical components of symmetrical phasors. We are converting that unsymmetrical or unbalanced phasors to balanced phasors with the use of symmetrical components. So this already we know. IA0, IA1, IA2 is equal to IA0, IA1, IA2 is equal to 1 by 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, A, C. Already I told you about this also. Some textbooks we are using alpha. In some textbooks we are using A. Okay, you need to follow any one, what do you call that? One symbol, either alpha or A, either you can take A. So whatever it may be, that is a complex parameter, and that's value is equal to 1 at an angle 120 degrees. 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So IA0, IA1, IA2 is equal to 1 by 3 multiplied by the same one, IA, IB, IC. Okay. So already we know that VA is equal to 0, IB, IC is equal to 0. So if we substitute this fault condition in this equation, now you see here IA0, IA1, IA2 is equal to 1 by 3 multiplied by the vector A multiplied by IA. IB, IC is equal to, I have just substituted IB is equal to IC is equal to 0. So IA naught is equal to 1 by 3 into IA, IA1 is equal to 1 by 3 into IA, and similarly IA2 is also equal to 1 by 3 into IA. So in this particular case, all the components, that means symmetrical component of current, and positive sequence component and negative sequence component and zero sequence component of currents are equal, and that will be equal to IA0 is equal to IA1 is equal to IA2 is equal to 1 by 3 into IA. So similarly, we already derived that for a positive sequence network, the voltage, so terminal voltage of the alternator is given by EA minus IA1 into Z1. VA2 is equal to minus IA2. Why? Because why we are considering the negative sign means obviously the current direction is reversed, okay, which is trying to flow in a reverse direction. So that's why we need to consider the terminal voltage of alternator VA2 is equal to minus IA during that negative sequence network. Please. And VA0 is equal to similarly minus IA0 into Z0. So if you write all these equations, all these expressions in a matrix form, you will get this one, right? If you want, you can check. So VA0 is equal to 0 minus IA0 into Z0, okay? Right? So VA0 is equal to minus IA0 into Z0. Next, VA1 is equal to EA minus Z1 into IA1. So definitely we will get the same answer. Now, VA, already we know that VA is an unbalanced phasor, right? VB is also unbalanced phasor. VC is also unbalanced phasor. But every unbalanced phasor is expressed in terms of three sets of voltage components or current components. So here, if we are talking about the VA, that means the phase A voltage, that is the combination of three balanced components. So first one is positive sequence component combination of positive sequence, negative sequence, zero sequence. Similarly, VB is also is a combination of VB0, VB1, VB2. VC is also equal to VC0, VC1, VC2. But here, why we are considering only VA? Why? Because in the fault condition. So initially we have written some fault conditions. So in that, from that fault conditions, we are considering that VA is equal to 0. So that's why I have taken VA only. So VA is equal to VA1 plus VA2 plus VA0. So all the currents are equal to, just you see here. So VA0, VA1, VA2. Okay, there is no difference. So initially this, so in this case also this. Now where Z0 is the zero sequence impedance, positive sequence impedance, negative sequence impedance multiplied by. So already we have proved that all the sequence components of currents are equal to, same. That means IA0 is equal to IA1 is equal to IA2. Is it not? So that's why I have expressed all remaining terms IA0 and IA2 in terms of IA1. Now VA is equal to, now you just add what is VA1, VA2, VA0. Okay. Now you see here. So just now we have discussed that VA is equal to VA1 plus VA2 plus VA0. Is it not? So which is the combination of three sets of voltages. So VA1, VA2. So VA1 is equal to EA minus IA1 into Z1 minus VA2. So already we have substituted IB1 and IA2 and IA2 and IA0 in terms of IA1. So directly you can substitute the same. So EA minus IA. So originally, frankly speaking, this is IA2, but already we have proved that IA1 is equal to IA2. So that's why we have directly substituted that IA1 here. In this case also, this is IA0. Okay. So VA is equal to EA minus IA1 into Z1 minus IA1 into Z2 minus IA1 into Z0. And we already know that VA is equal to 0. You just simply substitute that VA is equal to 0. Now, if you substitute VA is equal to 0, you can obtain the positive sequence current, that is IA1. you can obtain the positive sequence current IA1. So once if we obtain the positive sequence current, then we can able to determine the relationship between the positive sequence component and unbalanced phasor and symmetrical component. So already we have proved that IA1 is equal to IA2 is equal to IA0 is equal to 1 by 3 into IA. So finally, so IA is equal to, this is the amount of current that is trying to flow in phase A when line to ground fault occurs. So 3 multiplied by IA1. Now check the condition. Now what is your fault current? Your fault current is IA here. So you can also write IA or IF. So IF is equal to 3 into IA1. So once if we know IA1, obviously it is also easy to get the fault current that is equal to 3 into IA1. See how simple it is. But the only thing is you need to keep focus. That's all. Now see here. So finally, IA is equal to 3 into IA1. Already we have determined IA1. IA1 is equal to EA by Z0, Z1, Z2. That is multiplied by 3, you will get the fault current. So this is important. This is important. So whenever a line to ground fault occurs, now what is the expression for fault current? That fault current is given by IA is equal to 3 into EA by Z0 plus Z1 plus Z2. Now, this is the equivalent circuit of line to ground fault. See how I am drawing this figure. Why? Because now you see here. So up to this is a positive sequence network. And next, this is a negative sequence network. So this is a zero sequence network. So I have divided the total networks into three parts: positive sequence, negative sequence, and zero sequence. But already we have proved that all the sequence components of currents are equal to Z, same, common. That means IA0 is equal to IA1 is equal to IA2. So whatever may be the current which is entering from this positive sequence network, that is trying to flow in negative sequence as well as the zero sequence components also. That's why all the sequence networks gets connected in parallel, in series. So suppose if I want to give you the same question in your internal examinations, I have given I may give you the same question like this. uh, uh, Prove that the sequence networks are connected in series in the case of a line to ground fault occurs in any of the phase. If I have given you the question like this, obviously you need to explain the same. Okay, if you want to prove all the sequence networks are connected in series, means you need to prove that all the sequence components of currents are equal. So when the sequence components of currents are equal, whenever line to ground fault exists, obviously all these components of currents are equal. So you can connect all the sequence networks in series. So I have already marked here the components: so Z1, VA1, VA2, VA0, zero sequence network, positive sequence network, negative sequence network, etc. Okay. Now you please note down the problem here. We will solve this problem tomorrow, but you please just note down this problem. We can use the same problem for line to ground fault, line to line fault, and line to ground fault also. Okay, so that's why I'm considering the same example for solving all these faults. Please make a note. Please draw this figure quickly so that we will wind up our session. See, all these networks are already known to you. Why? Because we have already solved these problems in the first chapter itself. First chapter itself. Again, we are going to consider the equivalent circuits, and we are going to replace with the components with its equivalent circuits, and later we can analyze the per unit values. Okay, so finally we are going to determine the fault currents also, right? Please try to draw this figure. Tomorrow we shall solve this. Tomorrow means in the next class maybe. I think I am on leave on Monday. I will take the hour on the next Tuesday, right? Please draw this figure. Problem. This is a problem. The same problem we can have it in the line to line fault and line to ground fault. In both the cases, we are going to have the same problem, but the fault is different. In this problem, we are considering that line to ground fault is existing. And in the latter case, next case, we shall see, we shall use that line to line fault is existing at the same point, and after that, we are going to use that line to ground fault is existing at the same point, right? So, do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, you please raise your doubts. No?